What's happening, YouTube? Cowboy here, and welcome back to another Heroes of the Storm strategy showcase. And today we are taking a look at the first daughter of Cenarius, Lunara. So Lunara is the type of ranged assassin I've been waiting for quite some time, and that is because I absolutely love damage over time heroes. Now, while she's not quite a warlock, Lunara does an excellent job at damage over time and is incredibly powerful, especially in extended encounters. So to take a look at our abilities, the first thing I want to touch on is her trait, Nature's Toxin. Now the way this works is all basic attacks and damaging abilities will apply a damage over time effect onto the target. While the damage over time itself does not stack, the duration does stack with consecutive attacks up to a total of 9 seconds. So moving on from there, our first ability is Noxious Blossom. When you put this down after half a second, we cause an area to explode, dealing damage and applying Nature's Toxin to everything. Moving on from there, Crippling Spores. Now what's interesting about this is there's no range on it. Basically you can pop this at any time you have a target affected by Nature's Toxin, and it will apply a 40% slow that decays over 3 seconds. And then we have Wisp, allowing us to just spawn a Wisp that we can send over to an area to scout out and give us vision. As for our heroics, two very good choices here, just depends what you're looking for. The first being Thornwood Vine, which will toss out a straight line AoE, hitting a bunch of targets and applying your damage over time, as well as the damage from the ability itself to all of them. And our other one is Leaping Strike, which is more of a mobility damage move, where we will leap over the enemy, applying an 80% slow for 0.35 seconds and attacking them. Now, one thing that's interesting is we have 2 charges of Leaping Strike, and we have 3 charges of Thornwood Vine, giving them equal damage if you consider the damage per charge ratios. With that in mind, personally, I'm a bigger fan of Thornwood Vine, only because Lunara does not have a lot of health. Her one fault is she is extremely squishy, like Nova tiers of squishy. And, with that in mind, I find that if you mess up at all with your Leaping Strike, it's very easy for someone to end up hitting you and stunning you right after the strike, resulting in a death. So, in general, I prefer Thornwood Vine. But either way, we're going to be bringing her on out to show you the talent build we're going to be going for. In general, I like to go Natural Perspective. At 4, I usually go Skybound Wisp. At 7, I end up picking up Splintered Sphere. At 10, as I mentioned, Thornwood Vine. At 13, Unfair Advantage or Giant Killer, depending on your comp. At 16, Invigorating Spores. And then at 20, I find that I either end up taking Galloping Gait on the bigger maps where I need the movement speed bonus, or Forest Wrath, just making our Thornwood Vine all that better. Now, the one big talent here I said that is going to depend on the situation is going to be Giant Killer versus Unfair Advantage. Now, while Giant Killer can be very, very powerful, especially with the fact that at level 16 we get a talent that allows us to increase our attack speed by 50%, allowing us to absolutely melt tanks. If you have a comp with a lot of slows, Unfair Advantage is devastating, I have found. I mean, just when you pop your W on targets, you can see the increase in the poison damage being quite potent. So with a comp like this, where we have an Arthas that's going to be constantly putting out slows onto the enemy team, that increase in the damage will be very, very apparent when we hit level 13. So either way, it should be a good match. I've been pretty much playing Lunara almost non-stop since she came out today. I already have her almost to level 8 right now. I think I'm a little bit over halfway there. Really liking her playstyle, though. It's definitely the kind of assassin I've been waiting for, as I mentioned. So to go in-depth into our talents, Natural Perspective at level 1. Now, with Blossom Swell, honestly, our AoE here is so small that an extra 20% on it doesn't really help us all that much. Photosynthesis, while it's not a bad talent, I honestly find that, the only time that I'm really going to be concerned about the mana on my Crippling Spores is going to be in the middle of team fights. And I find that more often than not, in the chaos that is a team fight, I'm usually not going to have 5 targets infected with with my Nature's Toxin at that point. So I'm not going to see the full benefits of it. Cruel Spore is obviously more of a PvE type talent here, allowing us to use it to clear minions and mercenary waves, but I don't really find that necessary. So, Natural Perspective, the thing that's great about that, on the other hand, is we can use that to really get some good damage into our targets. Because when we hit them, we'll end up marking them up. And then that's going to provide vision on those targets for us. And that vision is what's going to allow us... The vision is going to make sure that, there's no... Like how you can see right now how we're seeing shadows as we run around. Basically, just having that ability, we're going to be able to constantly see the targets regardless of where they go. And that's going to really help us out a lot in fights, making sure that we always have our targets in view, making sure the team can see them. Works out quite well. Getting some strong harassment by their Lunara right now. And we need to get some people up and start soaking. We definitely have a little bit of a roam team with the Tyrande. So you'll notice one of the things I'm doing is trying to hit a couple of targets, and then immediately after I hit a few, what I like to do is like hit my first 3 targets, Noxious Blossom on the back line, and then pop Crippling Spores following that, basically refreshing the damage over time effects on every target and causing us to usually knock out an entire wave. So a little bit of a rough laning phase there. I was busy explaining everything. While we go into our next town here, Skybound Wisp, the main reason I like this so much is because we can, if they kill it, we get the area revealed, which is always a nice thing to have happen. And then on top of that, you know, having the being able to see over obstacles, another thing that is very, very powerful, of course. So we're going to send out our Wisp, actually. Send it on over into there. Oh, God, no. Raynor's hurting me.
Meet your doom, Gravekeeper.
Yeah, we really got to kill that Morales.
Nature
Death
reclaims
closes
all.
upon you. You must heal soon.
So Skybound Wisp. Now with that in mind, I find Dividing Wisp is also really good. Especially on maps where you're going to need vision in multiple areas. Being able to split up your wisps like that is going to give you very nice vision. But in general, if I don't have a map where I absolutely have to have that, I'm going to switch things up and instead take the other talent that I was just discussing. Got Morales. She's dead. Poison's going to take her out.
Growing strong.
I'm going to pull back for now.
Plus this way, if they pop off the Wisp immediately, we get that reveal. Very nice for knocking out stealthies, as you can probably imagine. It's a little bit of a rough start, that's for sure. I think we spent a bit too much time soaking early on, and that kind of screwed us. Where we should have been, I mean, we didn't have the ganks we needed, I meant to say. We should have had some very strong ganks early with the Tyrande Diablo. We got some definite kill potential down here.
Seek the enemies of the forest.
Send out the Wisp. Get back to mid to get my soak on. Alright, now here we're going to go for Splintered Sphere, and that's going to be a big, big damage increase for us. Now, the main reason for this is going to make it so that every time we use Noxious Blossom, not even if we hit anything, just if we use it, we end up throwing out 3 spears, which 3 spears is 3 potential instances of damage over time. It also gives us great wave clear potential. Siphoning Toxin, not really going to be necessary, you know, we just don't really need the, we're not going to need Nature's Toxin. The heal is too low end for us to really see the benefit of it. As for the other choices, Wild Vigor is a decent choice, but ultimately I feel it's overshadowed by some other options. And then Nature's Culling is kind of like your PvE type talent. It's meant to nuke down waves. Once again, a talent that's not going to really be needed. Oh, and I could not get my slow off in time there. But Diablo and Tyrande are still up. If he can get in on that Morales. Morales is really hard to get on, especially with them having both a Diablo and a Lunara sitting there buying time.
This realm is mine. Gravekeeper.
Well,
Taking a look at the stats, though, not doing too bad. A little bit slow so far. Diablo up front, getting a lot of damage in. I'm going to get down here, try and help them out. I don't think they're going to be able to kill this Morales. He's going to need to back up here. And that is going to be bad. Instead, I will take care of this Morales. Goodbye, Morales. You're dead.
Your enemies fall before you.
retreat is not weak.
Just come in, put on some damage over time. That's one of the great things about Lunara against Morales is you know she can't heal herself. So, a little bit of abuse by getting those damage over times on her and then counting on that to take her out. Good kill opportunity here on Raynor. There's the slow.
I seek the enemies of the forest.
Get down, Raynor.
Send his servants to their grave.
Suffer as a wildland.
Put the damage over time on everything. That's another great thing I like about Thornwood Vine. Very, very good for clearing out waves because you can apply your damage over time effect to an entire wave of creeps and then immediately follow that up with your Crippling Spores, doing some very, very serious wave clear damage. Like so.
Wildland.
Now that whole wave is like on the verge of death.
Let's go.
Move our Wisp over here. That's the one thing I could definitely use some practice on with my Lunara. I don't do nearly as well as I should with the Wisp. Oh, she tried to jump and that did not pan out well for her.
Before the Raven Lord's pawns to killing spree.
That was kind of a blowout. We're gonna really start to see the scaling here, especially once we hit once we get up to level 13. Then you'll start to see the bonus damage on the poison happening with anything that's slowed. So already you can see we're starting to catch up to Diablo quite fast here. Their Raynor obviously devastating everybody in damage at the moment, but they had a really strong start. So I think we should be able to overtake him just fine now that we're starting to come together. Easy grab here on this Merc camp, it looks like. I'm going to take out this line.
Nature reclaims all.
Alright, an unfair advantage. So like I said, Giant Killer here, really, really powerful, especially when you consider the synergy with Invigorating Spores. Ultimately, I just really like the idea of unfair advantage because of the fact that our character isn't really about the raw damage potential they can do. She's more about the potential of her poison and how potent that can be. So we really do see that damage come out with the unfair advantage talent. Did they just take the boss? I did not expect that. That was a ballsy move.
Slay leads mercenaries.
You can run from nature.
Now it is important to note that this only does affect heroes. So consider it like Giant Killer but in the form of poison. Other teams definitely doing a really good job right now of map control, but we did manage to take that one tower. And I think we're going to, if we can blow through this really fast here, take out their Uther pre-fight. Oh no, he's going to get off the invulnerable. I don't think that's going to save him though. No, it will not. Slow her down a bit. And we did take the armory, though we got this bitch sitting here grabbing it, snatching it up while we're not paying attention.
You shall fall.
Nature reclaims all.
Oh my god. No! Get the hell out of here. Unbelievable. They're just snatching these up left and right now. Rather annoying.
Destroy this wretched fort. I seek the enemies of the forest. Fresh as a flower.
We are smashing through their forts, though.
That was worth
Alright,
waiting.
so invigorating spores, that'll give me a lot of quick kill potential here. Be able to pick a target and focus it down very, very fast.
Where's the excitement?
Put that there in case they decide to go for the mercs. We just got to play a careful game here on the temples. Is it temples, towers, whatever you want to call them?
Fine then.
Let them take our towers.
So satisfying.
Finally found my wisp.
Heroes,
Nature
I have opened
reclaims
a tunnel
all.
near our core that leads to the battleground center. Use it well.
You can see now, just popping crippling spores.
Has fallen.
Some really, really high damage coming out really fast there. It's like
Let's get to the root of this problem.
it's like having my own personal
Send his servants to them.
like mini stim pack, if you will.
Where's the excitement?
Let the altars rise.
Let's get to the root of this problem.
Lots of poison for everybody. Look at this. Shoo, 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 shoo. This is going to be a big old launch.
The altars belong to those who claim.
There we go. We'll grab this altar real fast. I don't think we can pop that in time, so we'll take the 6 shot. That'll really help to even things up. And now we got all 3. We're gonna start chain firing.
Let the bombardment begin.
We're gonna actually go heal on up. So until they take this down, we will just continually fire and launch at their core. Very, very powerful to end up capturing all of them. Even if just a short period there, you could see that one launch that we ended up getting in combination with the fact that we were able to hold all 3 momentarily allowed us to get some very, very strong nuke potential there.
Where's the excitement?
Your enemy has destroyed a keep.
Satisfying. Regrowth. Destroy this wretched fort.
We got it. We got it already. Okay, okay, okay. I'm coming to defend it.
Slay these mercenaries.
The altars are rising in the mist. Keep up the pressure.
Where are we at now? Diablo's still beating us. God, it is absurd how much damage potential Diablo has right now. Goodbye. And now we're going to go Forest Wrath, giving us that range and speed increase on our heroic. And it's not needed, but like as you can see, like I have a very, very far range on it now, which is really nice, especially considering that it will apply the damage over time effect. You know, we can use that to really knock out some serious damage on enemies. So you can see the slow impacting there on the Morales. Huge damage coming on out.
Nature reclaims all.
Keep
This is turning into a very, very quick slaughter.
Excellent kill.
Though I am in just a battle to the death here with Diablo, unable to take him out in terms of hero damage. Uther, go away. You're silly, Uther.
Well done.
Let us capture this mercenary camp. Where's the excitement?
I think I can... I think we can take this. Pretty sure we can take this. Ouch.
Be ready. The altars are rising from the mist.
Oh, so close to you, Diablo. So close. This should be the GG.
That means you.
Shoo, shoo. And I think that's it right there. Yep, that is the game.
Well done. Well
Christmas themes are fun. So, a little bit farther up than I thought. Ooh, and, oh, level 8. Very nice. So taking a look at the stats, just barely came in under Diablo. Wasn't quite able to take him out. It is pretty absurd how much damage potential he has right now. But yeah, you know, respectable siege damage for an assassin, really nice hero damage, solid XP contribution. Weren't able to take down their Raynor, but all in all, a very, very powerful build. So, like I said, natural perspective here, giving you the reveal on anything you've damaged over time. Skybound Wisp, mainly because of the reveal potential it offers, though having Dividing Wisp isn't a bad choice. Splintering Sphere, so we can hit up multiple targets to apply that damage over time. Thornwood Vine, mainly because it's AoE, applying more poison. Unfair Advantage, because I absolutely love that 50% bonus, though Giant Killer is a decent choice. Invigorating Spores for the absurd nuke potential it gives us for 6 seconds. And then, of course, Forest Wrath, just increasing the range on it that much more. So either way, guys, I hope you enjoyed the Lunara guide. Definitely enjoying this hero a lot. Really, really big fan of her. Like, she's quickly become... one of my higher assassins, which actually, like, just because I'm curious, like, I mean, and I've had these guys for a while. So yeah, I just got here, just got her today, and already I have her higher than all these other guys. So, yeah, she's definitely a lot of fun to play. Either way, we will see you guys with Daily Heroes, and then, of course, with the Grey Mane video when he is released.